Hi everyone, I'm Rob Schmidt, and I'm devoting this student behavior video to showing you how corrupt special education classrooms in the Los Angeles School District have become. In my 11 plus years with the district, over half the kids I worked with in special education are really healthy kids that refuse to behave in a regular education classroom, and sadly school officials refuse to accept the fact that a kid that acts poorly could actually be responsible for their own actions. They insist that if a kid acts like that, there must be something wrong with the way the brain functions. And I was told virtually every time I noticed a behavioral issue that he or she was being tested for some type of a disability. So I asked a medical doctor, psychiatrist, and a special education teacher what type of tests are involved, what process is involved in determining whether or not a kid really has a disability, whether or not they're really mentally ill. And it begins with the IEP, the Individual Education and Program Meeting. I asked the special education teacher to discuss that.
I was told by a school psychologist that on the IEP form and on the assessment form on the bottom of it is a series, I think it's 8 check boxes that are on the bottom to deal with things such as home. What is the home evaluation? Or how does the kid react at home? Or how does the kid react amongst their peers? What is the parents? There's no evaluation done with the parents. None, from what I understand. There's no evaluation with the parents or to find out what's going on at home. All they're doing is just a simple, so if the kid has a lot of issues at home, and that's where the problem is generating from, because the kid is being treated very abusively, that isn't being treated, from what I was told by one of the school psychologists where I was at. And that was shocking to hear. And she was told, they were told that, she says, right in one of the meetings with all the psychologists, it was a big gathering of psychologists, and they were told to ignore and just check the boxes off. Don't consider those. And for a legal document,
I also asked Dr. Scheinbaum what medical tests are used to verify whether or not these diagnoses are accurate.
Psychiatry, unlike other areas of medicine, has no specific tangible diagnostic tool to arrive at a diagnosis. There is no MRI of the brain, no CAT scan, no blood test, urine test, laboratory test, no genetic or hereditary test of any type to assist in making a diagnosis.
I then asked a special education teacher and a regular education teacher how many of the kids in a special education classroom and what percentage of them are actually healthy kids that could make it in a regular education classroom if it weren't for the behavioral problems.
60% of my kids could be in a regular program and succeed there rather than sitting in a special ed classroom.
It would be sizable. It wouldn't be like 5 or 10%, maybe, if I had to make a guess, maybe 50%.
As you can clearly see, at least half the kids in special education classrooms are kids whose brains are functioning normally, and if it weren't for the behavioral problems, they'd be just fine in a regular education classroom. And this is verified by several teachers with numerous years of teaching experience. Dr. Scheinbaum verifies the fact that there are no medical tests to verify these diagnoses are even accurate. The school district frankly just slaps these labels onto the kids so they don't have to deal with the behavioral problems, and they keep the money coming in. In special education classes, laws like the Americans with Disabilities Act kicked in, so these kids are under federal protection, quite frankly. It's like having diplomatic immunity, and it's one of the biggest reasons why so many of my student behavior videos involve kids with who are in special education classrooms.